The Celtics head coach facing disciplinary action, which could include a significant suspension that could be up to a year for his role in a consensual, intimate relation with a woman who is a member of the Boston Celtics staff. His job is not in jeopardy, but according to Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN senior NBA insider, he is going to face some time away from the Boston Celtics.
Ime Udoka is facing disciplinary action with the Celtics. I'm told a likely suspension, a significant suspension for what's being termed a violation of team guidelines. Boston is still discussing what that suspension might look like. But this is a Celtics matter, I'm told. This is not a league issue. This is an internal Boston look at Udoka and this violation of team guidelines, but certainly jarring for this Celtics organization. This was a first-year head coach who took Boston all the way to the NBA Finals. But I'm told at this hour he is facing a significant suspension for what, again, is being described as an apparent violation of team guidelines.
Jay, will training camps open up for the Boston Celtics next Tuesday? That's going to be a very interesting first day of training camp for the Boston Celtics.
I mean, look, on the basketball side, there's a lot to unpack here. But on the basketball side of things, obviously I think for a team that has added Malcolm Brogdon, they have some good pieces that you kind of felt like they were a couple of pieces away from winning the whole thing last year with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I think this is a massive loss. If he's being suspended for the year, why would it be for the year? Like, I get breaking team rules, and I'm not condoning the actions at all, but I don't think it would be a year if it was a consensual relationship. Now, the moral side of it, it's something that we can discuss later because there's people always want to go to that, right? And that story becomes bigger. But I've seen people in business who can still function and run an elite business even though they've had some breakdowns morally with some things. That now the breaking team guidelines, I understand that. But a year? That seems extreme to me. Doesn't it, Key?
Well, it does seem pretty extreme, but I think when you talk about team guidelines, there are rules in place. And you know how I feel about rules.
I hear you.
And when there's rules in place and clear rules in place, you know, you don't want to set a precedent in an organization that we say, hey, this is what it is, and then we do something different. Now, here's what I would say. From a basketball standpoint, they bringing in players. They went to the championship a year ago. They certainly have one of the better teams in the East. You now disrupt that for a longer period of time. Now, maybe it's not a year. Maybe it's not a year. Maybe it's 2 months. Maybe it's a handful of games. I don't know. But a year, as of right now, seems a bit of a stretch because it's not – I mean, it's not one of those situations that I'm sure that the Boston Celtics have looked at and said to themselves they're going to fire him or something along those lines because of the consensual side of it, like you said, Jay. And this is the reason we even having this conversation. They're right up against it, right up against the time that they got to go to training camp. Training camp opens on Tuesday. And so they've now got to figure out who's the intern coach because the lead assistant is now in Utah. So you're saying to yourself, okay, do we have somebody on this bench that can carry this team through the course of an 82-game season? Do we have somebody like that? Or do we have somebody that can take us through a month? And so those are all the things I'm sure that they're going through this morning and trying to work out to see.
By the way, Roach says a clarification on the suspension could come down as soon as today. By the way, the assistant coaches of the Boston Celtics are Ben Sullivan, Joe Mazzulla, and Aaron Miles and Matt Reynolds. So those are the assistants on the staff. Those names don't resonate, although Damon Stoudemire is also a part of that staff. So that could be the guy, a former NBA player, a man who's been a head coach in college. Maybe he could be in line to be the interim head coach, whatever that suspension is going to be.
When did Mighty Mouse get over there?
He's been there
since Ime Udoka took the job.
Yep.
Damon had joined him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he has head coaching experience.
The rock somewhere?
Yeah. Well, he's been.
I'm still to this day thinking he at University of Pacific or something.
No, he's not. He's
time flies.
He's
like
gone
that.
from the left side to the other side. That's what he's done, especially coaching in the NBA.
To me, that's an easy one. Though. I'm giving it to Mighty Mouse. Let's roll.
And
Let's figure it out.
Something like that, where having somebody who's been in the NBA game and those NBA players can maybe better equipped to handle this, which is going to be an immediate distraction from day one for the Boston Celtics, a team that made the NBA Finals last year. But nobody will be talking about that next Tuesday when they open up camp, when it gets to the start of this year.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.